Well, Ross, thanks for joining us. There haven't been many home wins this season. That should have been one.
100% should have been, Dave. And very, very frustrated because I think we've played well recently, and a team have come here today, and I think that shows how well we've been performing recently, that the respect that they showed us in terms of getting a lot of men behind the ball, trying to stop us from playing. I think there was one team out there that were really hell-bent on trying to win the game, and there was a team out there here for a draw, which they got, so full credit to them. So the message to the boys there, and what the real disappointment is we get our noses in front, which I'll be honest, I didn't think it was going to come today. So my real mindset was for myself was, let's not give anything away, let's not let ourselves down, because we've done that too many times this year. Then we get our noses in front and you think, right, here we go. And I felt like we almost waited for the equaliser to come. I felt we didn't really show enough initiative to put Macclesfield on the back foot, to really try and force Macclesfield back. I think across the first half, but I felt like the latter stages, the last 5-10 minutes, we sort of felt or looked as if we were content to sit back and try and soak it up, rather than be a bit more positive in the way that we managed the game, which we did really well last week.
Seemed to switch off in stoppage time, is that fair?
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I say there, I think it fits with what I've just said there. I think we sort of, like I say, didn't really take it by the scruff of the neck and say, right, it hasn't been a great game, it hasn't been an all singing, all dancing performance, but let's grind it out, let's get together and manage the game properly. And I didn't think we did that, and it just gave a real sloppy, lazy opportunity for Macclesfield to get back in it.
Because it was a great goal that gave Leyton Orient the advantage.
Yep, I think another positive performance by James Brophy at left back today. Albeit we probably couldn't get him up the pitch as much as we would like to, in obviously with his strengths going forward, but it showed when we get him into those areas, his runs from a deeper position are a real threat. And I thought it was a fantastic pass from Craig Clay. We talk a lot about how we try to break down an opposition's defence in those deep areas, and it was a great pass, great run and a fantastic finish.
You had to make a change at half-time. What's the extent of the injury to Dan Happy?
Well, Dan's been suffering a little bit this week with a problem with his hip. So as soon as he went down, I obviously really frustrated, because I thought that might be a bigger setback. But mean this in the nicest possible way, but he was suffering with real sickness. We got him in at half-time, and he just couldn't come back out again. He looked like a ghost, and it would have been foolish of us to try and push him any further.
What were you looking to achieve with the second half substitutes that you made?
Positivity, I think, like I said there. I didn't think we, obviously, again, full respect to Macclesfield in terms of the way that they set up and stopped us today. Felt a lot like it did at times last year when we played games and teams were here to defend deep and get men behind the ball, and I felt that we lacked, and again, it's credit to them, we couldn't quite build up that intensity to our play, and I felt by bringing Jordan off, he just didn't really get into the game today. I thought giving Danny the opportunity to come on at the top end of the pitch might give us a little bit more energy and a little bit more legs. And the same with Lee and Connor, really. Connor's played a lot of football recently, a lot of football in a short period of time, and I felt like maybe it caught up with him a little bit today, and bringing Lee on felt like it might energise us a little bit.
It did show just how many options you'll have for Tuesday night when Macclesfield Town win. Very
much so, Dave, and I think what we probably can't underestimate, albeit I feel like the mindset in the group's been a much more positive of late. I think the competition for places shows that there's very few people that are got a nailed down position in the team now, which probably earlier in the season you may or may not have said that. So I think that competition for places, that new faces, that new blood that's come into the group, can only be a positive thing.
Dan Happy, will he be an absentee on Tuesday?
I hope not. I think Dan's been excellent since we moved him back into centre half after he had to fill in at left back when we lost Joe. So I am hopeful that the sickness bug is just a passing thing. I didn't feel particularly great today. We haven't got pre-match to blame that on, so it's hopefully something that passes and we see Dan back ready, getting prepared on Monday.
Are there other players that could be in contention? What's the likes of Louis Dennis, Sam Ling and of course Joby McKenna?
Sam's very close. He's really striving. He's really pushing himself now. Done a lot of work yesterday. We hope that potentially he will train on Monday. I think it would be foolish to even contemplate the fact that he may be involved in Tuesday's game, because at the time that he's been out, we need to make sure that he's fully prepared to be be back in and he doesn't suffer another setback. Joby, you can see out there behind us now, really pushing himself with a running, but nowhere near Tuesday yet. But he is getting stronger. The positives are coming out of every session that he does. He doesn't feel any difficulty with that. And Louis, he's a very stop-start one. It was his knee a couple of weeks ago. We got him back running and training last week. He joined in the group, and then Saturday, if my days are right, he done a session in the morning with the other players that weren't in the squad and suffered a problem with his hip. So I would be very, very surprised if he were ready for Tuesday too.
Psychologically, that was quite a blow in stoppage time. How difficult will it be now for yourself and for the players to react for Tuesday?
I don't think it'll be extremely difficult. I think it is a setback. But if we're going to look at this from a positive perspective, potentially this might have been a game that we'd have lost earlier in the season, Dave. So I can, there'll be people disagreeing with me, and they've got every right to do so. But my job's to give the boys the information that I feel is going to help. My big pat on the back for the lads is that the performances they've put in recently led to this team, Macclesfield, coming here today and trying to make life difficult for us, and they did it very well. So we have to then come out and try to find new ways and different ways to break an opposition down, because if you perform well, teams start to come and make it tough for you. So it's credit and a big pat on the back to the boys. So I don't think they'll take too much picking up. It's a blow. It's a kick for us, but ultimately it was a game in which that we dominated. Again, we have to remember that we had the better chances and we created the better opportunities, although it wasn't to the level that we would have hoped. So I feel as though they're in a positive frame of mind, albeit disappointed.
Finally, Macclesfield are in a very strange position, aren't they? They've already had points deducted. They've got 4 points suspended. There's rumours that there'll be more punishment dished out by the Football League because games that were cancelled. Do you think it helps when sides are towards the bottom of the table that there is this delay, there is this uncertainty as what's going to happen to the Siltmen?
Yeah, first and foremost for them. Obviously, knowing Daryl McMahon, I know a lot about what the place was like and what it's been about. I feel for Mark, although it's a great opportunity for him to go into that club and get a chance to manage and coach in the league. So I think I feel for the situation they're in, but at the same time, if you owe people money and if you're not paying people, or whatever the scenario you may find yourselves in, then there's sanctions that have to be in place. There's rules. So I think it does create uncertainty, I think, for them. I think the other side of it as well is that everybody else wants to know where they're going. I'm sure I'm probably not wrong or going against the grain in terms of saying that the EFL have lost the team once already this year, but again, it was another team that were breaking the rules. So the sooner there's clarification for everybody, the clearer it's going to be for everybody, and first and foremost for the people that have to go to work every day at Macclesfield, for the coaching staff, for the employees that they have there and the players. It's vitally important. I think they deserve a lot of credit because they keep going. It's probably galvanised the group. Well, I know it has, listening to what Daryl's had to say before he left. I know it's brought the group together. But unfortunately, or for whatever way you want to look at it, it's not right. Laws have been broken, rules have been broken, so there needs to be decisions made, and the sooner the better. I think it is for everybody in the game.
Thanks, Ross.
Thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you.